good for shit.
Hello, all, and welcome to Star Trek Picard review. And I had to pop Loki. Did it work?
Oh yeah, it's pretty good for shit. It's shit, but yeah, we're shit connoisseurs now when it comes to Star Trek.
That clip will just keep on paying dividends.
Year after year.
It's the best thing to come out of Discovery. Anyway, enough about that painful show. So, a little while ago, I was on Loki's channel. And I suffered through Star Trek Discovery Season 3. And I reviewed it and got up at 8 o'clock in the morning. See, at least I'm being nice to you and putting it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's true. It's true.
So the agreement is I would suffer through Discovery Season 3 as long as Stone Loki broke his promise and reviewed Picard Season 2.
God help me. Someone put my eyes out.
Before we get too far, we're going to go where we left off. And last time you saw Rambling Canuck and Stone Loki talking about Picard, you would swear that, we were, one was Russia and one was Ukraine, and all World War III had broken out.
Well, that wasn't my fault. Someone threw in that Patrick Stewart should bite the big one, and I got yelled at for it. And
any names, Deej Odyssey.
Rambling Canuck was like, "You said he should die," and I was like, "No, I didn't." Well, somebody on this panel did. Well, it wasn't fucking me. and then it was like, okay, everybody can breathe for a minute. Then we went back to yelling at each other.
Yeah. We but if you can't yell at your brother, who the fuck can you yell at? All right, so we're gonna start fresh, which is what apparently they decided to do this season. But before we get to that, I'm gonna do a quick little respectful swing through chat. We have Gorilla's Random Thoughts, welcome. We have, of course, my love, Mrs. Canuck. We have Project Story Time, Luis Expero, welcome.
Welcome, Luis.
Or Lewis, one of the two.
Luis, it's Luis.
Luis, okay, I didn't screw that up. I always get worried about that. Thomas Potts, welcome. Mark the Amply Tired, welcome. Who else do we have here?
Chris Persia.
Chris Persia. Well, I have both wrenches and their wrenches. This is good stuff. All right, and we have my buddy on the edge of disaster, or the Random Menace. How are you doing, sir? Hopefully you're doing well, and they haven't hit the OF button yet over there.
Ooh, Mrs. Canuck put in the link for the original Screaming match.
Oh yeah. Now just remember, fuck it. We had fun. We got mad. But I will point out that unlike certain people on YouTube, 2 days later, I was on Loki's channel and we were talking like this. So
yeah. Yeah, we yelled at each other, we screamed at each other, we threatened
to video, and you can see us go toe to toe, fucking ready and raring to go. 2 days later, we were talking just like this.
Oh yeah.
So there's that. But yes, that we went toe to toe. I don't know if that's gonna be the case this.
Well, if it is, I'm powerbomb your ass through a table.
I'll just put you in a sharpshooter and we'll be done with it.
Oh,
all right, God. So Picard Season 2.
Can you call it Picard? Robot facsimile.
As we expressed last season, I don't really give a shit about that. I really don't. The problem I have with it is, how can I put this? I don't mind Picard becoming Data Jr. if there's a purpose, if there's a reason for it, other than the fact he's dead and you need you wrote yourself into a corner. Now, there were a lot of expectations I had coming out of Season 1.
More flowers going after board
Oh
cubes.
God, that
Tulips.
was the worst part of season 1. That was the worst part of season
Worse,
1.
worse
Oh,
than Picard dying, and worse than that insufferable wannabe data girl that the daughter he never had when his real daughter Lowell died.
yeah.
The daughter,
Well, see,
Mm-mm.
I would say the flowers are worse because, okay, Picard dying, that's been done before. Not the first time that's fucking happened.
But this time he stayed dead.
Yeah, I know.
It's not
That's because they
really.
waited for season 2 to bring Q. I mean,
But why
but I
would
will be
Q
honest.
even?
I will be honest. When he died in that death scene, and they had that door, and then the bright light, and Data walked through, I
You thought it
expected
was-
it to be Q.
Yeah, we all did. And
Right? I expected it to be Q because that was almost verbatim TNG episode. But it ended up being Data and whatever. Okay, so he puts that to rest.
Well, I just really quick, and no one's thought of this. At least no one that I have heard from has thought of this. At the end of this episode, he acts like it's and you can call it the actor, you can call it whatever. If they actually do this, I would be very, very surprised, and I'm going to be like, wow, okay, he's not in his reality. He is in, because the picture of him is different. All of that is different. Is this now again a human Picard that is not a robot because he is now a different Picard?
Yeah.
Is that possible? Or is that where they have done, oh, well, we saved him by making a robot, but now since we're in an alternate reality and it's a different Picard, but it's got all of Picard's memories, is this now a human Picard? That could end that whole it's not really Picard thing right there.
It could. And here's where when I heard after season 1 that Q was coming back. Q coming back is a good thing, but can be a very bad thing. Because the problem with Q is you literally can do anything you want. Anything. And technically have a canon reason to do so.
Well, we saw that in the very beginning because he's young.
You can do anything.
Yeah,
he's been written that way. He can do anything. Anything is possible. Snap of a finger, you're on the other side of the freaking, you're in a completely different dimension. Snap of a finger. This is within his power. So with Q opens up the door to so many dangerous roads. I look at it like, I don't know if you watched it, Rebels. Did you ever watch Rebels?
Star Wars Rebels?
Star Wars Rebels, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The show was good up until the one point that pissed me off. For a kid's show, it was pretty good. Right up until the damn frickin' time corridors. Remember those?
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
Okay. What fucked it up
The Veil.
for me
It's
was
called The
had
Veil.
Time corridors, okay?
The Veil.
Could've.
Yeah.
What you can't have is the Emperor knowing about them. Right?
Okay.
Because then, if the Emperor knows about the time corridors, then your obvious answer at the end of episode 6 is, well, why didn't he just use the time corridor? It's all he needed was to have somebody in the corridor, and when he was about to fall, have somebody reach through and grab him like Ahsoka.
Well, it's believe it or not, it's a lot more complicated than that.
Yeah, I know.
If you take,
it opens that.
Plagueis, what happened with Plagueis? Plagueis knew everything that Anakin was going to do. He even told Palpatine, "This kid is a virgin in the Force. This kid is going to completely upend everything we're doing." And yet, Plagueis pretty much told Palpatine exactly what was going to happen with Vader. And Palpatine still thought that he could manipulate everything and push it all to the way he wanted it, the way he wanted the outcome.
I get that. Like within story, we know this. But what I'm saying is you open the door, right? The problem I have with time travel, unless it's done very, very well, too often time travel opens up more loose ends than it ever ties up. That's been when I look at a time travel storyline, 9 times out of 10, it leaves you with more loose ends than it ever ties up. Unless it's written well, and I don't have faith in anything to be written well.
No, Star Trek 4 was amazingly written well. It was done very, very well.
Yeah,
there were
time travel, but it was very specific.
Yes,
right, very specific. Went back in time, did what they had to do, got back. Right. The problem I have, and I'm going to get to that in a minute with some of the stuff that we saw in episode 1. The problem I have with time travel as a whole is I'm going to use, we did a wrestling game earlier, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to quote Jim Cornette. Lazy booking. It opens the door for lazy booking. Right?
Okay.
Because you can just fix everything. Because you can just go back and fix it. If you have a way to always go back in time, you can just go back and fix it. Oh, the fans didn't react to this very well. Okay, next episode, this person has to go back in time and fix it. Next season, we just got to go back and fix it. So, time travel to me is an issue.
Well, they're doing that in STD. I mean, it's all like, they're in the future and they can go do whatever they want to, and
last time I watched Star Trek Discovery is when you made me in season 3. So I haven't watched season 4.
Neither have I.
And I could give a 2 fiddler of an ass.
I will take that back. I saw the thing with the pixies in the first episode, and then I turned it off.
I could give 2 fiddlers of an F what that crew's doing. Have they changed the uniform 17 times or just twice? Because every time I see a freaking poster for Star Trek Discovery, it's a different fucking uniform. But anyway, moving on. So here's my I'll let you do your overview. So not nitpicking too much, but just what your initial takeaways from the first episode are and concerns.
Of course they're going to bring the Borg into this. I did not like the way Seven talks about, we're treated like pariahs because we used to be Borg, and then she treats the Borg like she does. It's like they're trying to get you to key in on something that is so painfully obvious that it hits you in the face. It's like being slapped in the face with woke, and you're just like, God, guys, enough of this. Then you get the last 5 minutes of the show, and actually they de-aged him. He looked like he was back in his 30s. Q looked like he was back in his 30s again, and he's like, oh wait, let me catch up. Snaps and all. I'm all just like you old Bart. You know what? That I'm surprised. For once in the last 10 years, Star Trek has made me smile. But that's just the tail end of that. I did not like the way the Borg Queen was able, because I'm involved with this one ship, I'm going to take over all of your ships. I'm like, no, bull crap. That's crap. As soon as they found out it was the Borg, we're going to go to Red Alert, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. They've taken, so we all railed against Picard, the end of Picard. Why? Because 20 ships jumped in at the end, 20 Federation ships jumped in, and they're all the same ship. They all look the same. They're basically, they cut and pasted the ship, which we all knew was bullshit. And now they're like, well, we're going to be really clever. We're going to go to Star Trek Online and we're going to take their ships. Why? Why is that? Because they have no one that works there that can create worth a damn. That's why Discovery, that ship looks like ass. That ship was passed over for the refit of Enterprise when they did the motion picture. That is the ship that was one of the drawings, and they were like, no, it's ugly. Let's not use it. Oh, but my God, let's dig into that and we'll use that. These people have never been able to be creative. They don't have a creative bone in their body. And now they're taking ships from Stowe. Fine, take ships from Stowe, whatever, but you're still copying and pasting. It's not your idea. It's not something you did. Oh, look how beautiful the Stargazer looks. Yeah, guess what? That's not theirs. That comes from Star Trek Online. Picard wants to get laid, but Picard doesn't want to get laid. Oh, he's 93 years old and afraid. I'm sorry. If I wasn't with someone and I was 93 years old and that hot ass Romulan MILF wanted to, oh, I'm going in. Like, I'm going in. Brace yourself, darling. I'm going in. It's that simple. And I could go into a million other things, but it's maddening that the best part of this episode was the last part of this episode.
Yeah. All right. So for me, when the episode ended, now unlike Loki, as that video will tell you, I wasn't all that pissed with season 1. There were some parts like flowers that I wanted to freaking lose my ever-loving fucking mind over. But for the most part, I was okay with it. And I was looking forward to season 2. Still am to some degree. But when the episode ends, Mary asked, well, what did you think? My answer was, I don't know. That shouldn't be my response. Because as Loki will tell you, I've been, screw you, Picard was okay. For the last year and a half. My problem with season 2, episode 1 was, let me ask you a question, Loki.
Yeah.
Did you have to watch season 1 to watch season 2?
No.
No, you didn't. You didn't need to watch a single episode.
That might be by design. That might very well be by design.
It might be by design, but it's one of my problems with it. So far, it's one of my problems. Because you had so many different avenues you could have went down. If Picard, I can accept Picard becoming a synthetic if there's a reason story-wise for it. Okay? So if Picard becomes a synthetic so that he can argue to have the synthetics brought back into the Federation, okay. There's a purpose there. There's a reason for this writing choice. Okay? Now, the problem with that is season 2, episode 1, that's already done. When we left in season 1, synthetics are still outlawed. Synthetics are still non grata. Already in episode 1 of season 2, that's done. Well, okay, so there goes that storyline. All that storyline is now out the fucking window because that's a closed deal. It's done. It's over. They're allowed to travel. They're allowed to do this. They're allowed to do that. All that's good. The question about the Borg cube that was crash landed on the planet after, the flowers, whatever. That's under Federation control. We know that because the ship, the Stargazer, is engineered from tech taken from that cube. Okay, so we know this. Okay, so that is tied up in a nice little bow and thrown back onto the corner. Okay, well, maybe Picard will now have to, we'll have to see his crew strive to get back into the Federation. No, we don't have to do that either. Rio is captain of Stargazer. His little Romulan protector is a cadet. His first officer is now a commander on a ship, already serving. So all that storyline of getting her record cleaned and all that crap, that's gone.
We gotta mention the name drops too. We gotta mention the name drops because they're flinging member berries at you.
Oh yeah, I expected that, but these are my fundamental problems with it. Is all the storylines coming out of season 1 don't exist anymore. It's a fresh start. Somebody hit the reset. And I get it because, I could see them going, oh, well, that didn't go over well. All right, well, then let's try again and hit the reset button. Which kind of pisses me off because fans have been pissed off at Discovery for 4 seasons and they haven't hit a reset button yet. Burnham hasn't fallen into a black hole. Picard gets 1 season and they hit the reset? Fuck's sakes. So that kind of annoys me. Then we get Picard. Where the fuck is Picard?
Robo Picard or real Picard?
Well, as far as I know, they're all synthetic Picard now. But that could be changed now that Q's in, but I haven't got that far yet. We get in, he's back on the fucking vineyard.
Yep.
After all of season 1, he's back on the fucking vineyard.
Tasting grapes.
Fuck's sakes. All right, fine. Then we go back to the often failed, and I don't know about you, Loki, but some of the more boring TNG episodes were Picard love scenes. You remember those?
Oh yeah.
The keyboard. This is the best acoustics of the ship. Remember that episode that puts you to sleep halfway through it? Or how about a movie that was just totally about Picard and a love interest, Insurrection?
That went nowhere, by the way.
Oh God, that was the most brutal Star Trek movie ever.
After First Contact too, because some people might not like First Contact, some people do like First Contact.
I don't mind First Contact, but the love scenes with Picard are always awkward.
Yep.
Because Stewart doesn't do love scenes very well. I'm sorry, it's a weakness. Stewart, stay the fuck away from them. You don't do them well.
Unless he's playing a gay man. That's true.
Yeah. But, yeah. Just, no. You don't do them well. Right? You don't do them well. Less of that, please.
And that wasn't a shot at Stewart. He has played homosexual men in the past, and he flamboyantly gay man. He's excellent.
Well,
excellent,
you know why?
Absolutely excellent.
Because Stewart being over the top is when he's the best.
Nothing against anyone of any sexual orientation.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as he's being over the top. Think of One-Eyed Jack last season. That was some of the funny ass shit in the whole fucking season. It was when Picard put on the fucking eye patch and or in TNG when they did the whole Robin Hood themed episode with Worf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Worf's the best part of that. I am not a merry man. And when he bashes the ukulele that Geordi's playing,
it's when he's doing over the top theater acting is when he's at his best.
Yes.
Right? The only really good love scene that Picard was in, it was corny, and if you watch it more than once back to back, you will get annoyed. But just periodically watching it makes you chuckle. Is when he's getting Diana Troy's mother off the Ferengi vessel. Remember that? Where he breaks right into.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was probably one of the less awkward of Picard being in a romantic, and it was because he was going over the top. That's Stewart. But he doesn't do well with the mushy, lovey-dovey. He doesn't do well there. He just doesn't pull it off. It's just no, he doesn't do it well. So you get that, and then he's called because now what I don't understand, okay, is I look at it like this. If the audience knows what the fuck is going on and the people in the show don't, like it works if we can see the gunman and they can't, that works, right? But if we hear a voice or if we hear a voice and everybody on the show is going, oh, who the fuck is that? And we're going, really, guys? You should know who this is. So when they first break down that transmission and you hear, help us, Picard, who is your first thought?
Borg. That's really simple. Yeah, Borg.
Yeah, right? If we know who it is by voice, by algorithm, by how the words are put together, because it's very Borg-like, don't you think somebody within the universe should have gone, it's the Borg?
Oh, as soon as that Admiral brought the info to Picard and played the thing, Picard should have known immediately who it was.
Picard should have known.
Yes.
Seven should have known. And then when the ship comes through, that's when Seven realizes, looks at Picard and goes, yes, it's the Borg. No, really? You could have fucking fooled me. So fine, we get a new Borg ship. I don't think we've seen this one yet. Have we? The big triangle of death?
Honestly, that ship didn't look like a Borg ship. It looked like a giant Borg badge. But nicest way I can say that.
Yeah, but it didn't look like a...
No. Borg Queen didn't look like a damn Borg Queen. It looked like some kind of clock tower Borg with gears all over its head.
New battle armor?
Great job, Janeway. Yeah. Supposedly Janeway came back from the Delta and they wiped out the Borg after that. So great job, Janeway. Man, you gotta love it.
But so we get the scene on the Stargazer, which I have to admit, I don't like the nacelles. The ship overall is okay, I guess, would be my estimation. I mean, I haven't taken a close look at it, just what I've seen in the show. The Stargazer's okay. But can somebody please, even in STO, design some good fucking nacelles, please, for the love of God. But anyway, so I don't know. The ship was okay. I mean, it's better than Discovery, hands down. So yay us. My initial thoughts were, okay, we're going to get some time with Picard on the Stargazer. No, we're not. Because right away, ship opens up, Queen beams over, goes through the shields. And then we get what the fuck Queen, I don't know, super boss, and boss queen with battle armor. I don't understand. She takes over the ship, takes over the fleet, yada yada yada, and Picard enters the self-destruct, blows up his ship. And then we get the segment with Q. After Picard wakes up in the vineyard and everything's changed. He now has, that was an android, wasn't it?
Yes, that was one of the ones that they killed them all off after they went nuclear and nuked Mars. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got an android there instead of his regular staff. The picture on the wall of Picard, he's got hair. Picard hasn't had hair in a while. And everything just seems off. You're like, okay, your first instinct is dream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dream. This isn't the first time we knew Q was coming. It's not the first time Q has had him in a dream realm. Go back to TNG. I forget what season. Okay, fine. Then we get Q. And Q does his, Capitan, which of course makes you smile. Well, me anyway, because Q is my favorite character in all of Star Trek. Above Picard, Q is my favorite. And he does the, ooh, you're older than I thought. Snaps his fingers and catches up. And then we find out that the Federation is now a
totalitarian.
Yeah, there we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
I don't think it's our Federation. I really don't. I think he's in an alternate reality. Yeah. And he's back to being human again. I think all of this is
possible. It is possible.
I think all of this is going to wrap back around to being on the ship. And instead of letting Seven kind of go nuts, Picard's going to have to be the one that goes, no, trust her. Stop, Seven. Don't do anything. Let her take control of the ship. And we must show trust to our enemy. I think that's exactly what all of this is about. And you can quote me on that. If it ends up happening. But considering how lowbrow these writers think and they don't put too much imagination into this is going to be a season very much of don't treat people badly because they could become your friends, even when they want to kill you. And it's just going to be the most nonsensical crap about trusting the Borg. And how Picard needs to trust the Queen because the Queen knows all, and the Queen's going to be the key to everything. Another season of the women that is going to be the key to everything.
Yeah. Well, see, and I could see them tying it back to Stewart or Picard becoming human again. We'll know that by about episode 2. Because if he's still synthetic by episode 2, then we know that's not where it's going.
And Runs with Phantoms, Voyager did not have a Mirror Universe episode. What they had an episode where a civilization thought they were evil and made up all this bullshit because history is written by the victor. They made Janeway evil. They made the Doctor a robot. They made all these wrong things. And then the Doctor corrected them all of what actually happened. That whole scene with Janeway where she's like, it's the Federation way. That's not the Dark Mirror Universe. Yeah. Voyager never had a Mirror Universe episode. Enterprise, DS9, the original series, yes. Voyager, no.
But, so you get, moving forward, one, they have to be careful with Q. I don't want Q to be used every episode.
Certainly couldn't hurt to have him in every episode, though. I'll tell you what,
hurt,
John
but
Delancey.
It has to be sparingly. Because Q only works in bursts. You know what I mean?
The trial never ended.
Yeah. Think of it this way. Remember that Voyager episode? The Continuum War?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So when you had Q for like 2 episodes back to back, it got stale.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
Yeah.
You can't overuse Q. Q has to be just sprinkled throughout, right? So even if you have him in every episode, it's a minute, 2 minutes. It's an interaction. It's a good one, Picard. But we're not done yet, right? Something like that, where he's stringing him along, but he's not in it constantly. Or you're going to ruin the magic that is Q. In my opinion. The other thing they're obviously doing where either A, which is what I'm kind of hoping, he's been brought back to a certain point within this timeline and they work forward from there. What I don't want to see is multiple jumps. All of a sudden, the ship can go from this timeline to that timeline, and we kind of see it in the preview where they're going back to the 21st century.
Yes.
And then they're going to blah, 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 and then they're going to blah, 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 and then they're going to...
It's not Doctor. It's not Doctor Who, ladies and gentlemen.
It's gonna get old, and it's gonna get old quick.
Can I ask you something before we get too far out of this? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what did you think about? Oh, you're assigned to the USS Grissom. Oh, you're assigned to the USS Excelsior. Oh, you're assigned to the USS Stargazer, and they've got the plaques for the old ships. But they're not the old ships.
Yeah.
Like Grissom was destroyed in Star Trek 3. Excelsior was mothballed. It's not the same Excelsior. At least I don't think it's the same Excelsior. Unless someone can correct me. You're not on the original Stargazer because that was decommissioned and torn apart. The new ones, the new Stargazer class, which is on Stowe. So, what did you think about them? Like every opportunity, they're throwing member berries at you.
On one hand, I have 2 brains on that.
Kobayashi Maru too.
Yeah.
I'm going to rewrite the Kobayashi Maru and make it to where you can surrender and be a bitch.
Well, Picard did that all the time, though. That's been my argument. I mean, how many times did the Enterprise D go face to face with a Romulan warbird and not a shot fired?
Well, that was the thing, was the tension. That was the tension of their little Cold War. And I will always love that one where he's head to head with Tomalak and he's like, "Now, Mr. Wolf," and the birds of prey, the Klingon birds of prey decloak around the Romulans, and he's like, "You may be able to destroy me, Tomalak, but if you do, they're going to destroy you. So, what do you want to do?
Make your move, motherfucker."
That's right.
But for me, back to your question, I don't mind member berries because you're going to get them. One way or another, you're going to get them.
Hey, really quick. Mark said, didn't Sulu's name get called? No, the Hakaru Sulu is a ship. So there's another member berry for you. The Hakaru Sulu is a ship. So you've got the Hakaru Sulu and the Excelsior in the same, cadet group.
Yeah. But, see, I'm on 2 brains on that. With the plaques,
yeah,
I could let that slide.
Of the original ship design.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Here's why. Go to Britain, the Royal Navy. Okay. If you walk on, let's say tomorrow morning, they launch a aircraft carrier called the HMS Hood, right?
Yep.
That ship will have the plaque and the battle honors of HMS Hood. If there was a ship in the Royal Navy called Victory, that ship would have the plaque and the battle honors of HMS Victory. It's done in the Royal Navy. So I can see the real world connection and I can allow it on that premise. Because if you go to the Royal Navy, you walk aboard a ship, you will see that ship, and that ship will have battle honors for World War II, and that ship was not around in World War II.
That's right. But those plaques in the show also had the original registry numbers instead of the new registry numbers.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
A salute to the past, which we do all day long. So I can let it slide because there's a precedence within our own customs that wouldn't be too far of a stretch, right?
Troy Pacelli brings up that Memory Alpha says the Excelsior was decommissioned in 2320. You can't go by anything Memory Alpha says anymore because they do not care about canon. They do not care about timelines. They do not care when something says what's happened. They don't care about any of that anymore. The writers just don't give a shit. They don't care whether that's what was said in an episode. They're just going to make up their own shit as they go along. That's the unfortunate. It's why a lot of people walked away.
Isn't that what the writers are doing?
Yeah.
So for me, the episode, in all honesty, was a little deflating. I wanted to see certain things play out on screen, and we're not getting that. It's automatic reset and into a whole new story that really made watching season 1 a complete waste of time.
Can you tell me the name of the android girl in the first season? Can you?
Oh, God,
yeah, see, you can't even remember her name. That the fact that they even had that scene where she's like, "Oh, look at me with my tits out."
Yeah.
No, nope. Don't care. Don't give a shit. Why are you even here? This has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, and I don't think she's going to be brought up too much. So. Because they moved past that. They tied that up in season 1. It was interesting that 7 took over that ship.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For all of 5 minutes.
Yeah, and who was she? Who was she to him? She wasn't. Oh well, yeah. I'll just give it to you. You can have my ship.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to have the Stargazer now, so you could just have this ship. Rios, captain of the. We don't even remember the name of it. I'm going to go be the captain of the Stargazer, and you can have my ship.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit.
I was disappointed that they did confirm what I had hoped they wouldn't confirm, but they did. The relationship between the commander and 7. Yeah. Well, I have to admit I was wrong, but
Mama's gonna get off meth. Mama gonna stop taking drugs. Mama gonna find a nice woman to settle down with.
Yeah, Mama gonna date a Borg. Anyway.
What do you 7? Where'd you take those tubulars? Yeah. Those tubulars they used to have on your hand. Where'd they go?
You don't want to.
Would have been nice.
Yeah. Well, see, now moving forward into the season, I can accept it if, like I said, Q is not overused, and I have a bad feeling they're going to.
You think
Time
this is going to be
travel,
This Is Your Life again, but a whole season of This Is
pretty
Your Life,
much,
Picard?
pretty much. And I hated that episode, just for the record.
You know what's interesting? He mentions the Picards. He mentions, the Picard who first sailed on the ship of the Picard that first went out in the galaxy. Wouldn't it be interesting if he meets those Picards and that's what this is all about? Wouldn't you just love that? Isn't that what you're just waiting for? Oh, well, we get to see the line of Picards back from the beginning. Oh, they do call to me. Yeah.
Let's not say we did. The things I need from this is, if they are going to go from point in time to point in time to point in time, there better be a good explanation other than Q just snaps his fingers and sends them to these parts of time, because that's, again, lazy booking.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there better be a device, something. There better be something that allows them to do so, not just Q snapping his fingers because lazy booking. Besides, why would Q do that if he didn't want them to fix it?
Maybe he'll give him a TARDIS.
Yeah. Maybe that's the season 12 of Doctor Who, Picard season 2. It's like season 12, right?
All right.
I don't know. But overall, Picard season 2, episode 1 was lackluster. Even more so than episode 1 of season 1. Because Picard season 1 didn't start really getting into anything worth a damn until about episode 3 anyway.
Was episode 1 where we got fucking hubris?
Yes.
Ugh.
I think so.
Okay, I will take okay, here I'll give you this. I will take it's been so long, mon ami. Oh wait, let me catch up. Yeah. I'll take that over fucking hubris any day of the week. I'll take that one scene with, to me anyway, that one scene with Q is better than the entirety of season 1. That's me. I know my friend here will probably have a completely different opinion, but
we didn't talk about one other aspect of this.
Uh-oh.
And this is where I'm going to get in shit, Loki. Are you ready for Canuck to get canceled?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So out of episode 1 of season 2, which Star Trek character got done the dirtiest?
Like old school Star Trek character?
Got done dirty.
Oh my God. Aunt Jemima in the bar. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something. Now that you've reminded me of this. Okay, let's go into Mother Abigail real quick. That woman used to walk around with a full-size sheet. That bitch is wearing a double king-size sheet now. There's a moment where she turns and I'm like, my God, you could have a whole family on that sheet and there'd still be room. But damn, Mama Abigail, see, like, Picard, I'm wearing your sheet. I went into the cone and I couldn't find my way out because my ass was so big I got stuck. Her and Steven need to be playing the fucking dating game. That bitch is big. Whoa, they big.
Did her dirty. They
God.
did her dirty.
And
they could have stayed behind that fucking bar.
That bullshit excuse, Eloians can age if they want. Shut the fuck up, bitch. You look like fucking 100 years before you met Picard. You look the same as you did. No. Now I decided to age and be a goddamn big grape. I'm the grape girl from fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Elbari, you're turning violet. Oh my God. We've got to take her down. We got to get her down to the juicing room. We have to get the big bitch down to the juicing room. Oh my God.
Loompa
Loompa dee
diddly.
doo. I got another puzzle for you. Yes.
Yes,
Shit.
I told you we were gonna get canceled, but they did her dirty. Good
Oh,
God, they did her dirty.
lay off the fucking
She
flapjacks,
is too fucking
Whoopi.
stupid to realize they did her dirty. She should have
God.
been behind that fucking bar, because from the original viewpoint, it was okay. It wasn't the best, but it was okay. She should have had a little more gray, okay. But behind the bar, and then if they wanted to do the sit down thing, fine. They cut to them already at the table. And there's not a whole bunch of wide angled lenses because those don't do them any favors. They did her dirty. Like big time. If I was Whoopi's agent, I would be screaming.
Do you know they made Mark Hamill lose 80 pounds to be at the very end of Force Awakens? 80 pounds to be at the very end. They didn't even have to like get a good shot of his body. They could have had a double stand in. They made him lose 80 pounds to be in 1 minute of movie. You can't tell me they couldn't have got Whoopi to run on a fucking treadmill for a month or two to get her into this 10-minute segment in the show.
Yeah. Well, maybe they were just trying, we are in inclusion and diversity, right?
Well, but yeah, they encouraged Tilly to get fat. God, help me.
Well, no, we are in so, they took a look at the two franchises, Discovery and Picard, and they went, well, we have Tilly on Discovery, but we don't have a Tilly counterpart on Picard. Bring in Guinan!
Oh, God, help me.
And Guinan wasn't going to be overshadowed. Good God, I'm an asshole. Anyway, but they did her dirty. Am I wrong?
No, that was a full moon you saw at that bar when she turned around. Yeah.
They did her dirty. They should have kept her behind the bar.
Yes.
And then if you wanted to do the sit down, fine. But you cut away from the bar and you bring them to the table.
Yes. I mean, when she turns to the side, it really looks like she is wearing a king-size purple sheet. Like, that's what it looks like. I'm not kidding.
Those camera angles did her dirty. Just dirty. Like, even I went, oh my. Like, wow.
That's a lot of woman.
You really need to get your agent on the phone because they just, wow. Is this part of your penance for fucking up on The View? Like, what the fuck?
No, because she taped that before she did that. So.
Yeah, I know, but I was being sarcastic. But like, Jesus Christ, they did her dirty.
Yeah, that took me a minute. I'm like, man, who else was in there? Seven and Picard and oh shit, it's yeah, Whoopi and the giant peach. Except the giant peach is Whoopi.
Yeah, they did her dirty. Like all they needed to do was have her behind the bar, like they did, and then cut away to the table. That's it. You wouldn't have taken anything away from the scene, but it would have been a better look for Whoopi.
For anybody out there wanting to cancel Canuck and Loki right now, I'm going to tell you something. There is, okay, I was a big guy. I was almost 300 pounds, and I was unhealthy. Okay, I had a lot of muscle, but I was also overweight and I was unhealthy. There is a difference between like a larger woman that is a little plump and a little, she's got hips. That's not what we're talking about here. We are talking about when your body is rounder than the moon. That is unfucking healthy. This woman is unhealthy. And I can't believe they put her in that outfit because it looks like the woman is wearing a king-size sheet, a purple king-size sheet. They did not do that woman any favors, not just with the camera angle, but what they had her wearing.
What they had her wearing, the camera angles, and don't get me wrong, I'm not fat shaming. I'm just saying,
as unhealthy.
Be respectful. If you're gonna have her on, and she is gonna be of that weight, like that stature.
She looked half, more than half. She was less than half that size when they did the stand.
Yeah.
I mean, she was nowhere near. I mean, it's just like, man, you put her in COVID
because those camera angles sucked. I don't know. They did her no favors.
I don't know what they did. I don't know if they like pack her room in the View with like Twinkies and ho-hos or what the fuck they give that woman. But the coop has not done her any favors because it looks like she has been sitting in her place the entire last 2 years doing nothing but eating.
Like, I'm sorry, but they did her dirty. Like, it was just by the end of that scene, you feel bad for Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah. Yeah, it can't be Whoopi. Oh, yeah, it is.
And they had her wear that, and they did that wide angle. Why did they do wide angle? What the fire that cameraman, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? But they did her dirty, without question. They did her dirty, and you just come away from that scene going, damn.
Yeah.
You could have done that a little more tactful. Just a little more.
I don't think they cared. I really don't.
No, they didn't. And that's kind of sad. But yeah, it took you a minute, but you got there. Told you we were going to get canceled. But anyway.
Yeah, we got there.
So what we'll do is we'll give the ratings for this episode, and then we will reconvene from now on, just so everybody knows and gets caught up. These reviews will be from now on Thursday afternoons at 2. We had to do today's because real talk, I was so out of it last week, I didn't realize Picard came out until Loki messaged me. So I didn't get to watch the show until Sunday because last week was a very bad week for me. So I was in no condition to do a review last week. So we had to kind of do a catch up today, and then we'll start the actual time slot next Thursday at 2. This coming Thursday at 2:00, and then it'll be every Thursday onward, and we'll slowly watch probably Loki slide into a depression going, why did I tell Canuck I would do this? Why did I tell Canuck I would do this? Why did I tell Canuck? And I'll be sitting there, and if I, even if the episode pisses me off, I'll at least relish in a little bit of enjoyment. And then, we'll play Uno, and Loki will +4 me about 17 times for making him watch this. God
help me.
But so Loki, what are you giving the episode?
I think they tried to throw a lot of shit at you, memberberry wise. There was a lot of stuff that got brought up, names that got brought up. That's like, look what we did. And I absolutely fucking hate that. There was no, oh, it's the Excelsior. No, there was none of that. It's just, we're going to throw member berries at you and expect you to eat them like popcorn. I didn't like that. I didn't like what they did to Whoopi. Thank you for reminding me of that. I just Xeroxed that out of my head. It was like gone. I don't want to ever see it again. Think about it again. And now you've got me thinking about it again. I'm probably never forget it now. I liked the very end with Q made me smile. That's something. Star Trek don't make Loki smile. At least it hasn't in the last like 5-6 years. So that's one thing, but that can't save a show, and that's not going to fix this show with all the holes that are in it. 7 of 9 acting like people are racist against her and people that have been Borg. I do not like that. And then she turns around and does that to the Borg queen, and you're like, look how clever you are, you fucks. I didn't like that. I didn't like Rios and the Stargazer. It's cheap shit. Oh, we're gonna take ships from Stowe because we have no creative ship making abilities and we have no way to do that. We're gonna take it from Stowe. We're gonna take the shipbuilding from Stowe. Look how fucking clever we are. So I mean, I'll give it like a 4, and then I'll give it a point for making me smile at the end. So I'll give it a 5. It's right in the meh department for me. So,
Well, this is going to shock everyone. First review for Picard, and Loki and I are at the same number, 5.
damn. I'll be damned.
My reason and rationale is thus. A lot of the things that I thought showed promise for a good storyline moving forward has been basically tied up, put in a nice little bow, and put on the shelf. I'm optimistically nervous about Q. As it made me smile when I saw him on screen again. Made me smile because Q is, Picard is, my captain when it comes to the Star Trek world. But Q is my favorite. Q is the guy who walks in and just fucks shit up and has fun doing it. He fucks shit up just to fuck shit up, and I love him for it. So for me, seeing Q again was great. So for that, it gets some brownie points. I didn't like what they did to Whoopi because it was unfair. The way they filmed her was wrong. I just think they could have treated her with a little bit more respect than what they did.
And that was a lame ass thing saying, oh, Lorians can age whenever they want to.
Yeah, I think she deserved a little bit more respect than what she got on that taping. If I was her, I would not be amused with the director.
And if that's true, why didn't Soren just age out? Why did he live to be another 100 years old and look exactly the same? That's such horseshit. That again, that's your writers making shit up just to make shit up. Yeah, we're gonna take the easy way out, and we're gonna say, oh well, they can just age.
Yeah, exactly.
When they want to. So whatever.
So that brought up the episode a little bit. So the downsides were what they did to Whoopi. The Stargazer was okay. It wasn't blow you out of the park. Loki points out that they're taking ships from Stowe. I kind of get it. Modern Hollywood, they're going to do things the cheapest way they can, and it's a lot cheaper to just buy the fucking rights off of Star Trek Online than it is to buy it off some other creator because it'll be cheaper. So I get it. I get the motivation. I don't have to like it, but I can understand why they did it. And to me, I don't care where they get the ships as long as the story's good. And so far, the story hasn't been very good going into season 2. I'm more nervous than I am excited, which is an exact 180 from where I started. I was excited for season 2, and now I'm like, oh, no. What are you doing? You better have a good reason for skipping over all this other stuff that could have been interesting for this, so I'm a little hesitant now. So that's why it's getting a 5. Because it was kind of I don't know how I feel about this kind of episode. For all I know, they could go, it could be all good from here, or we could be sinking a lot further than, I'd like it to go for Picard. So with that, I will thank my panelist here, Loki, for keeping his word. And
next week, or Thursday,
Thursday?
2 days.
It's been a week.
Yeah, you don't even.
Yeah.
When does this? When does this come out? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow night, but I won't see it till Thursday.
Yeah, I won't see it till Thursday either. So I guess I'll have to watch it after my show. Great.
Yeah. And
I'm really gonna need something to drink after Thirsty Thursdays. I'm really gonna need something to drink after that.
Yeah, probably. All right, and with that, I'm gonna say thank you to everybody in chat, and until next time, take her easy.